Hi, and welcome to Melbourne City Land Rover's Discovery Vehicle Handover video. We're going to spend a bit of time going through the car for you today. This particular car we're going to look at is an SD V6 HSE. This will be applicable across the entire Discovery range. If there are any options or any questions you have on top of what we show in the video today, please feel free to touch base with the sales consultant or myself and we'll spend the time to go through it. But let's jump in here and have a bit of a look at this awesome new car. So starting off at the back seats of the car, to open up the boot, straight underneath the V, single push button, it'll pop open from here. Just so you know as well, your tow hitch is also just straight in here with a 12-pin flat plug. We'll jump in here and have a bit of a look. So, the back of the Discovery is typically where a lot of the action takes place. By pressing this button on the top through here, this is how we're going to do the power gesture tailgate, which will bring this part down. This particular part is rated for 150 kilos. Coming into the back of the car, to do the rear seats, one single pull on the tether, use one hand to brace yourself, and that'll click it in from there. To do the headrest, one hand on here, single press to come up. To go back down from the rear of the car, push this button for the headrest first, one hand on here, single pull for that, which you'll feel the release, then this literally just folds straight down. For the back as well, you have added storage with the extra USB points coming through here. You have the very handy shopping bag holders through here. If we jump across onto this side, so we'll swap around, power gesture tailgate button will just be from here. You can actually also raise and lower the Discoveries, so which is really good for towing. So literally you can bring it down from there. Alternatively, you can literally raise the car up. This is amazing when you're hitching up or just even trying to get something in and out of the back seats of the car. We've also got a 12-volt power supply and the rear seat belts are all through the back from here. For the tailgate on the Discovery, power tailgate, single press from here to shut it. You do have this button on the side, which is a rubber strip that runs both sides parallel on the tailgate. And that's actually an emergency stop. So if the tailgate is coming down, try not to put your hands in there, just literally hold the end of here, and that'll basically reset it. If this height is too high or too low, you can literally just change it to wherever height you want to go to. Just hold this button down for 10 seconds, and what it will do, it'll actually reset the memory height to only come up there. Just literally have to wait for that little beat, and we're all set, ready to go. For the fuel filler, nice and easy. When the car's unlocked, single press, it'll pop open from here, and obviously always remember diesel, diesel, diesel for a Discovery. If you do fill your car up with petrol, just whatever you do, don't start the car, ring roadside assistance straight away, and they'll tow the vehicle in so it can be drained. For vehicles fitted with keyless entry, once the car is locked, which you will see from the mirrors from here, being in the folded position, one single hand on the inside of the handle will unlock the car. To lock it, all you do, one single press on here, and this will unlock from there. If your car won't open up with a keyless entry, this little section of the door handle here will actually pop off, and inside your key you have a fob. Just literally turn it straight around and that'll open up the vehicle. So into the middle row on a Discovery, and it's a fair bit, this is where a lot of the functionality for the vehicle comes from. So this middle row can be moved forward and back just by literally pulling this little bar on here. Just make sure you've always got a hand on the back seats. To get in and out of the back row, all you do is literally just lift this flap here, one single hand on the Jesus bar, and literally just push that forward, and that's how you get in and out from the back seats. To go back down, just pull this up, the bottom of the seat, clicks back in, click backs from here as well. HSE cars and onwards will also have a lever at the bottom part of the seat, where you can actually also recline or bring up the seat as you need to go. To fold all the seats down, first of all just pop down the headrest, so they just fold down. Using just a lever underneath the base of the seat, this will come down, and just do one nice push to click it down from here. From here you can see you do have the anchor points coming through on this back middle row. Otherwise the two top seats from here will either have top tethers or they'll have full ISOFIX seats as well. And then to go back up, actually one press, releases, and again one hand on, clicks it back up, click back up for headrest 1, click back up for headrest 2. For the ski hatch, to do the whole thing down, just press the button from there. Okay, and otherwise you've got your little armrest coming through here with the two cup holders. Right, so let's get stuck into the steering wheel. So the buttons across here are for your cruise control. This particular car being a HSE has got adaptive cruise control. Once you're at the speed you want to go to, just press set. You've got resume, you've got plus and minus for your speed. And then with the adaptive cruise, if you want to close the gap or lengthen the gap to the car in front, you just use these two buttons corresponding. This button here is for your lane departure warning, which you can turn on or off. I suggest having it on. The cancel button is for your cruise control. This button here is the speed limiter. So once you're at the speed you'd like to get to, aka 40 k's an hour, 60 k's an hour going through a school zone, you literally just activate that through there. Welcome the current to drive. You can literally just press it down from there. This particular car has also been fitted with a heated steering wheel, so we'll just press this button here, and that'll activate it, and that'll warm across the side parts coming. The horn in the middle, nice and easy just through here. Coming across the left-hand side, this is for your audio. So to go up and down in volume, literally, you can just basically use this as a touchscreen. You can still press it if you want to go old school. If I switch this here, we'll switch the radio stations to go forward and back, and this will work on your favorites. This button here is your shortcut button. So basically by pressing this, we can then choose what shortcuts we like. This is for our voice control, and this is for our phone. When a phone call comes in, it'll go green and then red. All right, so let's spend a bit of time jumping into the center screen. This particular car, being a HSC, this has got an interactive driver display. So at the moment, we've got it set up in a certain way. Let's change it around. So we've got the rev canner in the middle, we've got the map on the right-hand side, we've got this coming through here. Basically, you can adjust this to however you like it. So in this case, we are gonna go to our display layout, and we're gonna take it back to a more traditional 2-dial for you, okay? Perfect. Okay, so by going to 2-dial, so what have we got in front of us? We have the speed over here on the left-hand side. We have our basically our lane departure warning just down here. So when we start varying between lanes, it'll be coming through. We also have our fuel gauge in the bottom of that first dial. So this is showing the car's got half a tank. It's also showing the speed zone coming across from here. It shows how many Ks the car's done. In the top, it's showing I'm not wearing my seatbelt, the time, and that the park brake's on, plus external temperature. Coming on to the right-hand side, we've got our rev counter to show the stop-start's been turned off, and then also our engine temperature is in the middle. But let's say we just want to have a little bit, we want to change the info coming through the middle. So we just press the menu button on the steering wheel. Let's go into display, and we're going to go to the info panel. Through the info panel, we can choose whether we want driver assistance, which is really good for the cars with adaptive cruise. We can choose our map, which is probably the most common variant. Apologies there. That's obviously the phone coming through. And we're going to choose map. Now we come through. Can we go through that? Say you want to adjust your other vehicle setup. Literally just by choosing this, you can go to your vehicle settings. This is where you can do security features, say 2-stage unlocking, which is a big thing we get asked by a lot of people. Drive-away locking, what speed you want the car to drive itself at. Convenience features as well, which will be things like, whether you want your mirror to reverse dip, or you want your windows global open, global close. Auto access height's another one. So when you basically pull the car in park, you switch off, take off your seatbelt, turn it off, the car will lower itself down automatically. That's all through here. So we're more than happy to set this up for you, obviously prior to delivery. Coming across through here, we've got our vehicle info, so you can check your oil level, the last alarm, the vehicle VIN. You can also do your phone into your recents, adjust all your media, and also do your driver assistance. This is pretty crucial. All the cars have got autonomous emergency braking, so it's coming through here. So it's running a little bit too quick for it. So I'll go back into OK. Back to collision avoidance. This is when we've got our forward alert, how sensitive you want your forward alert to be. We'll keep the AEB on, which is the autonomous emergency braking, so between 40 and 80 k's an hour, it'll go to full brakes if it thinks you're about to have an accident. We've also got the blind spot assist, and this is where you can choose basically what level of assistance you want. Coming across, and you can basically choose whether you want it to steer you back into lane if you've got the blind spot monitors going, or whether you just want the alert. We're coming up out of the collision avoidance. We now go to our steering assistance. So if the car's fitted with the full driver assist pack, this is where you can choose whether you want it to steer on adaptive cruise. In this particular case, we'll have the lane keeping assist on, and we're going to have it in vibrate. Let's move it to assist. So now when we go to change lanes, if we have an indicator, it's actually going to tuck us back into the lane we want it to go into. So coming through there, driver condition monitor will let you know when it thinks you're falling asleep, and it measures that through lack of hand movements on the steering wheel. And the parking notification is really good for discoveries because they all actually have self-parking. And we also have a really good self-parking tutorial on our YouTube channel, which I definitely suggest having a bit of a look out for the self-parking. The parking notification, now you'll see it's activated just down here, which is its way of saying, hey, there's some available car parks around that we can switch you into. All right, so let's get started into the center screen, and this is where your main functionality for the Discovery is definitely going to be. This is going to be a home screen, and the best way to treat this is literally just like an iPad. So we just swipe across as we go through it. By going to the right, you can actually do a long press here and you can customize whatever home screen you want. So say you use the navigation or the off-roading controls, you can all do that from here. Coming over to your main one, we have nav, we have the media, and we have the phone. So let's jump in. With the nav, nice and easy. You can sign into your own account, you can set up your own account where it'll show your recent addresses, work, and these kind of things. Let's just treat it like a normal one. So to have the map going at any time, just press the map function from there. And this is pinch, this is squeeze, we can move it around. Really nice, quick reactive system. So we want to put in a destination, we literally just compress this menu button from here. And then to search for an address, just literally like searching for a home bar or through Google or something like this as well. Really nice and quick. Hit the search through from there. It'll come up as searching offline. There's two different ways you can use the navigation in this vehicle. One is offline, i.e. using it just as the car as it is. It'll work like a normal navigation. You update it just through your software. The other option is to insert a data SIM card and then the navigation will go completely live, okay? But let's say in this normal case, we've got our address, so let's hit 351 Ingle Street. Through your route options, this is where you can pick, say, toll roads, especially in a discovery, like, you know, unpaved roads, these kind of things. So you can get route preferences. You can say, I don't want to go on a motorway, I don't want to go on a tollway as well. Let's just say normal, hit OK, and start, and we're ready to go. Say now, oh, hang on, I don't want to go there. And the question we get asked a lot is, how do I cancel the nav? Just hit the menu button, stop guidance. And that's where you can also mute it as well. Really is a nice navigation system to use. We'll jump into the media. So, this is the media section through here. Through here, you can just pick your source, which you can have radio, and we've got a phone connected to this particular car. Band is where you choose, say, digital radio, FM radio, or AM as well. Coming through into your favorites, and this is what I would suggest. Spend a little bit of time going through, picking which stations you do like. So say you don't like listening to 103.5 or 104, just literally untick the little star signs from here, and that'll take that away from your list of radio stations. Otherwise, once you're in here, you can literally just press the button from here to change stations. You can also do it from the steering wheel controls as shown before. If we're going through listening to music straight off our phone, let's jump into the media, and we'll just go source, and then we'll pick the iPhone. Now we can jump straight into a podcast or whatever we're listening to from there, okay? You've always got the master volume on this switch as you go through. For the phone to be paired, really nice and easy. Just jump into the Bluetooth, search through your phone settings as well, and that'll come up. We have our recents, we have our contacts, we have everything that can come up from here as well, okay? So everything's all nicely set up for you. Jumping into the next page across, this is our eco data. So this will show how fuel efficient you've been driving. You can also see the fuel history, and you can get a little score set up from here out of 5, which is your throttle response, how fast you're going, and basically what's happening with your steering and braking in the engine as well. Coming through here, you've got the camera function. Now this particular car has the 360 cameras. So this will give us the bird's eye view. Majority of cars will always have a reversing camera standard. One of the other features for this is you can actually pick the camera icon here, and you can actually pick which camera you want to have running. So you can have a junction view. So if we jump out of here, the camera will see you've got the 2 left-hand cameras. Just so we know, the cameras are at the front of the car, 2 under the wing mirrors, and 1 at the back. Let's say we're towing or we're off-roading, you can have a constant view out of the back of the vehicle. So not just a reversing camera, but just a constant view of your trailer. Moving into trailers, what the 360 function also brings is trailer stability. So if we basically, let's just go back from here, and we'll go into our cameras, and we'll hit our little trailer icon from here. This is when you get this little plus, and this is really good for anyone towing horse floats or boats or caravans especially. We'll just hit plus. You can basically add what type of trailer you're towing. So let's just say in this we are towing a caravan, and let's say it's 2 axles, and let's say the inches are 125, and let's say it's got, let's just argument's sake 75. Sorry, it's a weird shaped trailer at the moment. And let's say 71, 54, perfect. And what it will actually do, it'll actually measure your trailer. So when you get your trailer, just measure in the hitch, measure obviously the dimensions and axles. You get a guidance sticker, and it will actually guide you onto the hitch itself as it goes through. Just jump out of that. Coming into here, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, in-control apps. So these are obviously all connected to your phone. Apple CarPlay, just your white cord plugged in using the USBs, similar thing with an Android Auto, and that will then bring up your full Apple CarPlay system. We also have videos explaining how to use Apple CarPlay, which will definitely tag you into. Valet mode through here. This will basically put a PIN number in, and this won't show your home address, it won't show any of your last places you've been to in the navigation. So if your car does get stolen, no one can tell where you live. The live surfaces in the web browser, that's if you have your car connected to the internet, will literally self-explanatory, work as a web browser. Live services will give you live traffic updates as well. The seats, this particular car's got heated seats, so you can just control it through here. Otherwise, you can always control it through the bottom screen, which will go through. Coming through as well, contacts for your phone, voice control, Really nice and easy. Phone, call contact, call Ben. Phone, call contact, call Mark. Bluetooth is just where you manage your Bluetooth settings. This is also where you pair different devices. Cool. Let's jump into the off-road modes. So this is a bit more of an in-depth video, so we're going to spend a bit of time going through it now for you. So let's jump into the off-road information on the Discovery. So off-road info through here, it's going to be a really good way of going into it. So this gives us a real-time display of what's happening with our wheels. It shows what our center diff's doing. So at this stage, it's showing center diff's unlocked. It also shows what we've got going on with our wheels, basically how much reticulation we've got, basically how much room we've got to come up and down with our wheels as we turn them. Also lets you know what angle your wheels are at, which, trust me, is very handy if you're going through the mud. Coming through from here, we also have our slope action. So this just shows what kind of angles we're on. And we have our compass. And this is where we have our off-road, basically our terrain response. So terrain response is a Land Rover system, which basically has been brought out. So it's supporting the car backing into us now. Coming through from here, which is what we've got the controls down here, which I'll get Mark to show us now. The best way to describe it is, terrain response is your friend. Terrain response is your way of saying to the car, hey, I'm driving in these conditions. Otherwise the car will adjust itself as it's going through, so it makes an adjustment every quarter of a rotation of a wheel. So basically every 200 milliseconds it's adjusting itself to whatever terrain it thinks it's driving on. This is your way of setting it up for the car. So we have comfort, we have grass, gravel, snow, so for any low grip surface. We have mud and ruts, which is then going to activate low track, which is going to be also activating hill descent control. We have our sand mode, which is driving obviously on the sand, which is now going to be very different to the last two controls where it's going to allow a little bit more slip. The traction control on the car is going to be turned right down. And our final one we have is rock crawl, which is far across to the right. This is our extreme heavy duty off-roading mode. To activate rock crawl, we have to put the car into neutral, which is just foot on the brake, rotate it across in the gear selector, and we'll just press this button here. And then just press this button here, the bottom right. And you'll feel it click over as well. And you'll feel the car automatically goes to off-road height. When off-roading, always make sure you go into off-road height just to give yourself a bit more clearance. But going back to normal driving is as easy as flick it across, push this back down, lower the car into normal, take it out of low range, and we're back set for city driving. So pretty awesome little system. This button on the bottom left, this is for your hill descent control to activate. So basically coming down any steep hills, turn this on, take your feet off the pedals, and adjust the speed using your cruise control buttons to either speed it up or to either slow it down. But like I said, that's a very brief overview, but the team at Land Rover Experience are going to spend a lot of time going through and showing you this, most importantly, where it works in a more practical demonstration. The other two screens I've got in the off-road information is our low traction launch. So to activate low traction launch, to give you an idea, this is if you're on a slightly snowy hill or muddy hill or anything where you're a little bit worried that the car is going to struggle to take off. Really good for boat ramps. All you do, vehicle is stationary, take your foot off the accelerator and just put it into grass, gravel, snow. And then it's nice and easy, we just press the button, activate. And basically this will gradually apply the accelerator until the vehicle moves away from rest. So it's a very, basically like a high grip, basically takeoff mode. Amazing in the flesh when you work it. Otherwise to deactivate, just deactivate from there, put the car back into normal. The other off-roading mode, which I'd heavily suggest using, especially if you're going to take the car off-road, is going to the driver assist, and this definitely is showing off a little bit more with the cars with surround cameras. So now we have our front camera active, which is actually waterproof. Our two side cameras are active, so we can see what our front wheels are doing. And now we also, in the left-hand side here, we also now have our reticulation, we have our center diff, and we know exactly what's going on with our wheels. So this is if you're going off-road, I'd heavily suggest, just when you start getting into the thick of it, pop it into this mode here, because it makes it a lot easier to see what's going on, and you can make better judgment calls with where your car's placed. To adjust your mirrors in the Discovery, just press what side you want to go through from here, whether you got left or right. We'll do the right-hand side. And just use this basically this little toggle here to adjust your mirrors as you're going through, as you can see from up here. Coming through down here, this is going to be your mirrors, your windows, pardon me. So that's going to be opening up, and the Discovery runs an electric child lock. So once that's on, no need to play around with the door handles anymore. Child lock's all set. Moving down here to the memory seats. So we've got our lock and unlock for the car. We've also got a memory seat function. So once you've got the seats, the side mirrors, and the steering wheel, if you've got an electric steering column adjusted all to where you want it to be, just press M and then 1, and that'll save that setting for you. So Discovery's fitted with sunroofs, which this particular car has got. This is the front screen, so it's iconic in the way that you press it. So by pressing this button, it'll do the cover. This will also do the back cover as well. And the back cover is reversed, so to open this one, press from here, open this one, you press on here. Otherwise, we'll jump back into this one, and this is for the actual roof itself. One press to tilt, two press to pop it open. Your optimized SOS is through here. This does ring 000, and your optimized roadside assistance is through here as well. And basically that'll ring roadside assistance. And we will set this up for you using our InControl remote app. So for a random little fact as well in a Discovery, which not too many people know, if you are bogged or you need to raise and lower the car, with the engine on and the hazard lights turned on, and I'll come a bit closer, by pressing this button down, and these are your up and down buttons, you can also do this. This is really good if you're hitching up, you can actually do it remotely. You see the back of the car's raising, you can also bring it down from there. So there we go, that's your full handover video on the Land Rover Discovery, the world's most awarded SUV. They are an amazing car, the perfect family car, the perfect off-roader. Many would say the absolute perfect all-rounder. If you've got any questions at all, myself or the team at Melbourne City Land Rover are always happy to help walk you through your car. What this video is designed to be is a bit of an added guide, I suppose, to going through some of the specs into your car. Thank you very much for your business. Look forward to seeing you soon, and enjoy your new car.